we begin again. In the spirit of brotherhood that the preamble of our Constitution reflects, the unity and fraternity of the people, professing numerous faiths, has been sought to be achieved by enshrining the ideal of a secular state. But this concept of secular state actually was concept, or the word secular was not before the introduction of 42nd Amendment 1976. A secular state actually guaranteeing freedom to religion to all, and the secular objective of the state has been specially expressed by inserting the word secular in the preamble of the Constitution 42nd Amendment. And secularism means it is one of the basic, very basic structure of the Indian Constitution, and making there is the provision of the Constitution making any religion the established church, as some other constitution do. On the other hand, liberty of belief, faith, and worship promised in the preamble is implemented by incorporating the fundamental rights of all citizens relating to freedom of religion in the article from Article 25 to 28, which guarantee to each individual freedom to profess, practice, and propagate religion, and assure strict impartiality on the part of the state and its institution towards all religions. And we have already discussed this point, but just to make it a little clear to you, more clear to you, or clearer to you, we have talked about the articles 25 and 28. But the word secular was inserted by the article, by the 42nd Amendment, which amendment was made in the year 1976. A very social ideals of the Indian Constitution is very important, that is the dignity of the individual. Now, preamble says the dignity of the individual must be maintained, and it says that the state in India will assure the dignity of the individual. The Constitution seeks to achieve this object by guaranteeing equal fundamental rights to each individual so that he can enforce his minimal rights if invaded by anybody in a court of law. Seeing that these justiciable rights may not be enough to maintain the social dignity of the individual, a number of directives have been included in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution. Now, you know about the legal aid. We have discussed in details, and I have sent you a note on the PIL. I am sending a note to you on legal aid, and I have discussed with you about the legal aid and to provide dignity of the individual. The government has given free legal aid to the underprivileged section of the community, and the Supreme Court has taken many decisions that its rights of the poor people would be treated at par with other individuals who may be rich. They should be given the same kind of attention when some rich people easily can access the doors of the court by their pecuniary conditions, but a poor person can also do that with the help of free legal aid provided to them. So illiteracy, illiterate people, underprivileged sections of the society, they can take help of the free legal aid if their general interest or involving a person's individual pecuniary right or a portion of the community, they can go to the court with the help of legal aid provided by the government. Now, if an individual, the Constitution feels that the individual, if he is not free from wants and misery, a number of directives have been included in Part 4 of the Constitution, exhorting the state so as to shape its social and economic policies that inter alia, all citizens, men and women, equally have the right to an adequate means of livelihood, just human conditions, just and human conditions of work, Article 42, and a decent standard of life and full enjoyment of leisure and social and cultural opportunities. That's included in Article 43. Now, another very important point that has been included is the fundamental duties. The philosophy contained in the preamble has been highlighted by emphasizing that each individual shall not only have the fundamental rights in Part 3 of the Constitution to ensure his liberty of expression, faith and worship, equality of opportunity and the like, but also a corresponding fundamental duty such as to uphold the sovereignty, unity and integrity of the nation, to maintain secularism and common brotherhood amongst all the people of India. This has been done by inserting Article 51A, laying down 10 fundamental duties by the Constitution, 42nd Amendment, 1976. So, many scholars have talked about the objectives of our Indian Constitution, but we may cite Mahatma Gandhi, combining the ideals of political, social and economic democracy with that of equality and fraternity. The preamble seeks to establish what Mahatma Gandhi described as India of my dream, namely an India in which he has spoken, Mahatma Gandhi has spoken, and these lines have been quoted by Durga Das Bose, and he has quoted, an India in which poorest shall feel that it is their country, in whose making they have an effective voice. An India in which all communities shall live in perfect harmony. There can be no room in such an India for the curse of untouchability or the curse of intoxicating drinks and drugs. Women will enjoy same rights as men. This is very important. Mahatma Gandhi has dreamt about a classless society, a society based on absolute equality among all the members of the society. Thus, he felt that the people should be free from the curse of untouchability and from the curse of drugs and intoxicating drugs. Women will enjoy same rights as men. See, it is very important. He has spoken about the rights of the women. He says that the women should have equal rights as those of men, and that is a very very important viewpoint given by our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi. I think today we conclude here on this particular discussion. We might proceed for another discussion, but let us conclude our discussion on the importance of social objectives of social ideals as envisaged in the Indian Constitution. Thank you.